Can you guys see me? Hopefully this is working now. Let me know you guys can see me. Hopefully this is working. Yes! Oh my gosh, I think it's working. Hey everybody, how's it going? Oh, hopefully everybody can see me. Hey Stitch Lover. We're on Wi-Fi because we don't get good service here. We're over like in Southwest Florida, Fort Myers, in my mom's condo apartment. So it is tighter quarters than a house. So yes, I'm on a little island here, like where you eat and next to a fridge. But I wanted to catch up with you guys. It's been crazy pants. Hey guys, hello Peach Fan and hello T Marie. Hey Beaker and Honeydew. And yes, Chris is not here because Chris is holding down the fort with the shop. We left last week in mass chaos from Orlando when my mom broke her other leg and hip. And if you've been keeping tabs or been part of Patreon, you may know that last week was crazy even before my mom broke her leg and hip. It started with a storm came through and our first ever roof collapse and water coming down from the ceilings. And everybody was going through it in Orlando, so we couldn't find anybody to come even fix it or do anything, and still it's not fixed, and they can't because of how many other people dealing with the same issue. So it's pretty crazy. Chris was literally cutting like through the paint to get as water's coming through. Then our power went out the next day, and due to another storm in Orlando. But we lucked out where a lovely LBV member, Jill, I don't know if she's watching, actually gave us a DVC room of hers to stay the night when we didn't have any power. Then, they just kept piling. I don't know if I can even remember half the stuff that happened. But yeah, my car broke down and needed new brakes. But luckily, on a good note, I guess I was this close to having brakes that didn't work. So car didn't work, but luckily, because it didn't work, I didn't get in the car to drive it, only to find out the brakes didn't work. Then my mom breaks her leg. And so I joked with Chris. I was like, oh, I need a break, a little like vacation, a break. And I was like, oh my God, Mom, I didn't need that kind of break. But no, I mean, I'm smiling now, but it was a pretty insane week. And to the point I couldn't even keep up with the list of the things that went wrong. So we joked it was, the worst week ever. But part of the reason I want to do a home stream is, I saw my mom waiting for a surgery. She couldn't get one because of, again, complications with her leukemia. And they need to wait when you're elderly to kind of make sure everything is in the perfect spot, blood work wise, oxygen wise, before you go into surgery. And I saw my mom being really down and sad, and I said, but think of the fact that it could have been way worse. It wasn't the other original leg that broke, it's a different one. And they say it's a lot more complicated when you break the original first break. So yes, my mom has broken now both legs and both hips. I kept trying to think of little things. Like they said, it was a clean break, which is great, not shattering like last time. And she was like, how can you try to be positive through this? And I realized that's how I got through my week. I kept saying, all right, the car broke down. We're going to have to pay a lot of money for the car. But thank God I never got in the car because we found out my brakes weren't going to work. So I said to my mom, I noticed little things happening that have a silver lining. Like maybe they happened for a reason. Why the roof went through, I don't know. But it might have been because of the roof. Chris went to go get in the car to try to find stuff from Home Depot. It didn't start. And then we learned what was going on with the car. So all these little things were happening in sequence that yes, you could look at it, oh my God, that's terrible. Oh my God, we have to pay thousands of dollars worth of stuff. But in some ways, we learned, hey, something else terrible could have happened worse. Or in my mom's case, something worse could have happened. Again, if nobody was around, luckily, thank God it happened while there was somebody around. She lives on her own. And so I said, think of how lucky you were that somebody was there. Because we learned the hard way. The iPhone, by the way, even though it says it'll call in an emergency or your watch, did not call. We have it set up on my mom's phone. So if you are elderly or have an elderly parent, trust me, double check that the emergency thing will go off or that they can call. It did not work. We learned the hard way. This week has been interesting, to say the least. And, my mom had her surgery just the other day. It went well. And then last night, of course, to top it off, a giant storm comes through here. Power goes out. Accidents right and left, even driving from the hospital here. So again, I'm sure everybody in the world is going through something crazy right now. And I wanted you guys to come on here and also tell me how you guys are doing. Let me know, how are you dealing with things? Because, Chris and my mom were like, I don't know how you're staying positive. And I said, my dad used to have a saying, he's never had a bad day. He's passed away now. But he would always say, never had a bad day. And I go, what do you mean you've never had a bad day? Like, there's bad days all the time. And he goes, it's how you react to it. No day is going to be perfect. There could be something terrible, even a death in the family or something awful that makes it a bad day. But you have to remember, do you have any other family left? Do you have the people you love in other ways still alive around? Then it's just a not good day. And that's okay. What can you do to make that day better with what you can control? So my dad would always tell people when they would say, like, how have you never had a bad day? He'd say, well, at the end of the day, keep trying to see what can I change to make it a little better. And if not for me, for somebody else. And life is a funny way of bringing it back around. So I've tried to live up to that. Dad, man, I don't know how you did it, but I thought this was probably the ultimate week pushing that concept. Can Maria really live up to that and push through? And I've been even dealing with my own health issues, juggling that at the same time. And, I realize, again, I may not have control over making my day better, but can I do something to make somebody else's day better? Can I make my mom smile a little more, Chris, or somebody else? And then it all comes back around. It's okay, Adventures Beyond Adversity. Like I said, the reason I wanted to come on here wasn't just to update you, but I wanted you guys to have a place to come and get it out to. You know what? Everybody's been going through something, and I feel that, sometimes not all platforms are a great way to discuss it, but our LBV family on Patreon, we do this a lot. We just get together, we chat on here, we do Zoom calls, and man, is it cathartic? It's so like right here. And I realized I want you guys, even if you're not part of Patreon, come chat, talk to each other, talk to me. Let's all, again, support each other and make it so that you also never have a bad day. It might not just be a great day. It might not be the best day, but it's a little bit better thanks to not me, but that all of you are here helping each other out. Craig says, I just hit you and see your past vlogs. Oh my goodness, it's gonna make me cry, Craig. Don't make me cry. Oh my goodness. Thank you, Naboo. I only have bad days that end in a Y. Well, Roy, we're gonna make you laugh and change that the same way you make us laugh. Stitch Lover, I would love to say I'm in Disney. I'm not. But I hope you get an amazing trip and have so much fun. When it rains, it pours. Yeah, Rachel, it came through the roof. It came through the roof. But again, for us, I told Chris, we're very blessed that, things aren't worse. I always say, if you're ever feeling bad remember, somebody out there's got it worse. And if you can maybe make somebody else's day a little bit better, I promise you life has a funny way of sending you that love back, and just maybe not in the time you were hoping. And, you know, I said to my mom, I wish I could find, you know, my dad actually even had like a hat embroidered and a shirt. So ironically, I totally forgot he did this because my dad died when I was young. He had a hat embroidered that said never had a bad day, and he had a shirt made. So little did I know he was starting his own LBV shop before there was an LBV shop. But I said to my mom, do we know where that hat is? So we're trying to find pictures so I could show you. But he would wear it and have a little smiley face. It said never had a bad day, and embroidered was a smiley face. But he was like, hey, if I wear it, I feel it. And ironically enough, I guess as a kid, this never registered. But sometimes when you wear something that makes you smile, you feel it. And I think that's maybe why I was so drawn. I mean, I'm wearing my Maui's tattoo shop pullover. Underneath is my Louis Riverboat cruise. You can see my computer. I mean, so in some ways, even having my apparel shop and how it started was like a way to feel magic when I needed it, and a reminder, like if you're wearing it, it's just a constant positivity. You know, I mean, there's nothing more positive than a slogan that says never had a bad day, but you know, so interestingly enough, life has a funny way of reminding you of things that, you know, let you know, hey, you're blessed. Like I get to make apparel that even in the worst day ever puts a smile, even for a brief moment when I see a reflection walking by something and I'm like, oh, Disney, you know, which is my joy, other than, of course, getting to hang out with you guys or doggies and animals. Jan, thank you so much. Thank you guys. Thank you, Disney. Up, boiler up. You should make sure if your dad's saying, for sure, says Nita. I was telling Chris that. I was like, because I would love, it takes a little bit of explanation. What is the backstory to never had a bad day? Obviously, somebody has had a bad day, but it's how you look at it. You know, it's just on a great day. And what can you do to change it to make it a better day? It's not going to be a great day, but what can you do to make it just a little better? So it's not bad. It's just not a great day. And, you know, again, I'm shocked I forgot this until we were looking at some photos with my mom. And I was like, oh my God, the hat. And I'm hoping we can find it somewhere in our you know, little storage for my mom that we kept of my dad's. Jason says, I have a journal I do. I do it in the morning and before bed. Jason, I love that. What do you write? You know, do you write affirmations? Do you write kind of getting out what happened, like good or bad? Feel free to share if you feel comfortable. Shelby says, prayers for mom and family. He answered my prayer of having my papa get rest in rehab. Oh, that's wonderful, Shelby. Oh, that's great news. Sean Rogers, oh, thank you so much. Oh, you're so sweet. Oh, thank you, Michelle Williams. Chris had to go back to Orlando because we have a business. How we make a living is through our apparel company. And man, God knows with the roof collapsing and no cars well, my car not working. I was like, Chris, it's okay. I'll take care of everything here. But man, poor Chris, he, I can't say it enough. I tell him, and I hope he's watching right now, but I don't think I would be able to do all that I do and juggle all the chaos without him by any means. So if you have somebody in your life, it doesn't have to be a spouse, it can be a friend, it can be somebody here that you've gotten to know through LBV, somebody that's like your sounding board. I know like with Patreon, a lot of them, we have a group chat and a lot of them are connected, but I wanted to do that here. So say you don't have Patreon with us, that's okay. Please connect here, talk in the comments. I can't tell you how incredibly supportive people through our community are. I don't know about other communities, but man, our community is the best. So again, whenever I have a bad day, I'm reminded it's not a bad day. I have these amazing people like you all here. And, again, being able to, no matter what, find a family, even when my mom's the only blood relative left, which is pretty crazy to think. I have, hundreds of thousands of you across the world through our platform. And I love YouTube in particular the most. We've gotten to know a lot of people from TikTok too, where we go live there. But Instagram, I don't get to have that personal, really get to know people. Same with like Facebook or Pinterest. I don't really get to know people the way I do here. So I wanted to kind of, again, do this so that you could get to know Jan or Surfer Girl or, any of our friends. Just literally Chuck. And you just, I hit a button. Just scroll. And so how about this? We do this on Patreon whenever we have new members, but let's do this here. I have everybody in the chat right now. I'm going to have you all say something interesting about yourselves. Okay, it could be funny, it could be weird, but something that's special to you. And how do you handle a bad day? Do you have any advice? Oh, Jan. Well, I feel the same way. Like I said, everybody blood relative wise has kicked it, but I have the best Giantess family through you all that I always prayed for since I was a little kid. I was an only child. I was like a miracle baby, and I told my mom she couldn't have kids, so she had me very late in life. It was an accident, and it worked out, but that means unfortunately my mom is much older. She doesn't look it. She's amazing. So hopefully that means I'm gonna look great when I'm older. I didn't realize my mom's turning 78 in a month. She lied to me. I should have just, she lied. That was the other thing I learned today. I'm like, you're gonna be 78 in August? She looks amazing. She wanted me to go live from the hospital room, by the way. And I was like, that's so tacky, Mom. I'm like, I'm not doing that. And she's like, it's okay. There's like blood bags, so she's getting blood transfusions. I was like, Mom, this is the most morbid live stream ever. She was like, no, show them what it's like. Because she realized she started crying. She goes, I'm never going to get to go to Disney to see you do your thing and hang out with you because she can't. Her one broken leg happened a couple years ago. She was finally feeling strong enough to come to Disney and maybe walk or be in a wheelchair. And then this happened. And she started to cry. She was like, look, this might be the only way I ever get to be a part of what you do and what you love. And I said, no, I need you to think positive that you are going to get walking. You're going to be fine. And you're going to finally get to come to Disney and come on a live stream and stroll around. She's determined to walk in Disney. And I was like, that may not be an option. And that's okay. That doesn't mean you're not going to have fun. That doesn't mean you are in her mind, she thinks that means she's cumbersome. And I said, I can't tell you how many LBVers watching are in wheelchairs and they make it work, and that's okay. And she's scared she's going to run people over with the scooter and that she's embarrassed. And the last time she tried a scooter, she hit people everywhere at Costco. So I was like, it's all right. We'll wheel you. We will wheel you. Hi, Hassan. Did you have a nice weekend? Well, it's relative, Hassan. ECVs. Yeah, she tried one of the electrical things and she hit people right and left at the Costco. Yeah, my family, we aren't the best drivers. We can race scooters together, says Linda. Yes. Glenn says we have a beagle named Hurley after the lost character. Oh, that's so cool. Guys, type in those fun, cool, unique facts about you like Glenn just did. It's, again, this is one way to get to know each other. Like I said, part of the reason I'm doing this live stream from home is because I missed you guys. And there's no way I can be at Disney for hopefully by next weekend maybe, but I don't know. So Chris may take you live next weekend. But I realized, it's so cathartic and fun when we do these private Patreon live streams We just hang out and chat and we catch up. And I can't tell you how interesting everybody is and how special all our LBVers are, inspiring, funny. I mean, my mom, again, was saying, she was like, they're amazing. How did you manage to bring the coolest people together? Because the internet's kind of a dumpster fire sometimes of terribleness. And I said, I don't know. I got so lucky and blessed. I think praying for a family all those years when I was little, because I was only a child, God brought it just, decades later. So I thought this would be a neat way for you guys to get to know each other. And one great way is to put that fun fact. It could be unique. It could be serious. It could be what you do for a living. It could be where you're from and something special about your family. Jennifer says, I was also a surprise baby. I was lucky to have all of them in our memories. I snuggled with my senior daughter and read a nice book. Oh, Jennifer, that sounds like what probably mine will be is, when I wasn't doing good, I wasn't even looking at Disney stuff to try to get out of my mind, because I think sometimes too with Disney, I almost felt bad, like trying to escape in Disney. And so Chris all of a sudden just pulls up a little dog photo, and you can't help but when you see a dog, it's just like, or an animal. I started feeding stray cats outside the hospital. Chris is like, what are you doing? I was like, the cats need food. So sometimes with an animal, it's an amazing distraction because they almost make you forced to break your stream of, focus. An animal in the moment, no matter how hard you try, an animal will force you to change what you're thinking in that moment, which sometimes is what you need. I scare people with my singing. I sound like the artist. I bet you don't. I bet you sound great. I love it. Hello, Annette. Nita says, when I first became ECV bound, I beat the heck out of my house. Just getting it repainted now. I'm scratch car driver with them. Okay, Nita, it's all right. So my mom's not alone. It sounds like all of you have hit something with an ECV, which is good to know. So that way she understands it's all right, and maybe we practice. Now, this house isn't really a house. It's like an apartment condo for, older people. So it's, as you can tell, there's not much space. Like, that's it. It's really, so, maybe that means, she's not gonna like this, but maybe that means she has to live somewhere else. We try to get her to live with us. She won't do it. She's very stubborn. She's very independent. Let's see. Diana says, I love to talk it out. If I don't have someone to talk it out, I go listen to music and do some sort of craft. Crafts are good too. And Diana works in a hospice. Oh my goodness. Again, I know Diana's gone through some pretty intense things this year, as I mentioned on one of our live streams. And Diana, the fact that you're always still so positive, and that probably makes sense. I didn't know you worked in a hospice, and I guess you have to be that positivity for those every day in and out. And so, in an interesting turn of fate, that positivity you bring to us and others, I hope means so much. It's almost, again, a skill set people don't realize that you can hone. And I'm sure, Diana, you have to use it every day. Let's see. Sometimes I like to jump in the car with Comment and bring him down to cheer you up. It sounds like I need to jump. Yes, you do. I need Comment to come and you. All of you, please. Oh my goodness. Pamela says, when I have a bad day, Phoebe gives more kisses than usual. They know. Oh my goodness. Yeah, if you don't know, Becca has the cutest dog and Pamela has the cutest. Is it a Shorkie or a Morkie? Because I'm trying to convince Chris. I'm trying to convince Chris we need a dog. And he's against the Yorkie thing because he thought that he saw a movie and I was like, yapping. I'm like, that doesn't mean our dog's going to do that. And I was mentioning Phoebe, and he's like, that's not a Morkie or a Shorkie. I was like, yeah, it is, Chris. Their dog is half Yorkie. Let's see. I can carry. Cynthia says, I carry my Squeezle Mickey Mouse toy to Disneyland Mom game when I was a child. She passed away now. Oh, Cynthia. Oh my, I have a little lamb chop that my mom saved. And sometimes I'll go bring it to her to the hospital and she's like, I don't need this. And then I notice my mom kind of like putting it in the bed and like kind of hiding it a little. I was like, see, even a 77-year-old woman needs it. Maria, you're, the Riz, that's so sweet of you. Oh my goodness. Well, I'm looking a little special today. So again, poof. But best I could do. Thank you. That is too kind of you. Oh my goodness. This is so sweet. Making me blush. Thank you. Well, I hope that I can bring you guys as much joy and the glow you guys bring me, even in the toughest of situations. That's my goal. I don't talk about it a ton, but I do pray every day. I'm, a spiritual person, and I every day I say, I'm just so grateful. I said, thank you for giving me the opportunity to have a family, to have these amazing people in my life, to have the opportunity to make people hopefully smile the way they make me smile. And that's something it's always in my prayer. Because again, I always wish for a family, and I hope the big guy upstairs knows I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful he gave me that. No matter what happened this week, my mom, it's tough seeing the only living relative left that you're closest with go through tough things. But man, how many people in the world are lucky enough to be able to go on a channel with a button and then have access to talk to each other and connect and feel better? That's just amazing, especially when we look at the internet as often a blah place, where there's a lot of trolls or a lot of bad stuff, sometimes not positivity. And man, like I said, holy moly, did I luck out. Amanda, well, it takes one to know one. You guys are incredible. A snorky. My pup Thor, Dog of Thunder, would love to be part of this doggy cheer up. Oh my goodness. Let's just put all the LBV doggies in a car. Just put them in the car and just bring them down to Orlando. We'll get a little cabin at Fort Wilderness. They allow dogs. A doggy party. Nita says, in 6 years I've had a cancer, stroke. Oh my goodness. Wow. Well, Nita, you are the epitome of being able to take a hit and get back up. That is one of my favorite quotes from Rocky. It's not about how hard you... what's the saying? I think I even asked Roy last time. I forgot this. I was like, Roy, how does the saying go again? Because I was like, I know Roy probably knows movie quotes. Gotta Google it. What's the famous quote by Rocky? Rocky quote, how hard hit. Let's see. It isn't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving. That's the famous Rocky quote. So I love that quote. You, me, or nobody's gonna hit as hard as life is. That's how the quote starts. Which is so true. There's nobody can say they're tougher than life. Life is gonna beat the living you-know-what out of you. So I love that quote. But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit by life and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep going. I love that. Because man, that's life. Like, as much as you want to try to prevent it, it's not preventable. And this week was a really great example to me that no matter how hard Maria tried, nothing I could stop. Nothing I can't control the weather. I can't control, the ceiling from coming down. I can't control the car electronics. I can't control weird, insane things like, my mom breaking another leg, but about keeping on going. Roy and Mary, we are thinking of you and pray for your mom. You're never alone and hope. Oh, I lost it. We're all here to provide you the love. And Roy and Mary, again, you've seen them on our live stream before. They're very special and we love you guys. And thank you for sharing, your lives with me. And I know you deal with stuff as well. It's amazing. Mom said, I know, she said to me her biggest worry about getting sick was, would I be okay on my own? It's hard to be a tear. And I said, I'm not alone. I have so many of you, so thank you. But even in my mom's roughest time, she's thinking about me. And I was like, don't think about me, I'm good. I get to have all of you a part of my life. I get to make magic as a job. I get to live in the most magical place on earth. I'm gonna be okay. But it's pretty, I'm not a mom. And it's pretty amazing, the selflessness of mom. So if you're a mom out there, or you're somebody who takes care of others or is a leader, just know, man, you are special as can be. But even with everything going on, her concern was, is Marie gonna be okay on her own? And I was like, oh yeah, I'm a little bit of a mess, but yeah. But I'm not on my own. So now my mom did record something. I realized I think it's on that phone. She wanted to tell you guys a message. Cause let me see if this, I think it's on, oh man, it's on the phone that I'm live streaming with. Okay, so maybe I'll see if I can post it to, maybe I'll post it to Patreon as a public post. So if you don't want to join Patreon, you can still see it. I said to my mom, I was like, we're not going live at a hospital. I was like, we're not doing that. That reminds me of like the crazy people that are like, oh, here we are live in the surgical ward. And I'm like, no. But I was like, all right, I'll let you record a message. Because she's convinced you guys, she was like, what if I don't make it? I want to say something. But she also made a very funny video in my mom's fashion. I said, all right, when you get out of the hospital, what are you going to do first? And just like in the Super Bowl, she was like, I'm going to Disney World. So yeah, I'll post that for you guys later on Patreon as a public post. So that way, even if you don't want to join Patreon, you can see a little bit of my mom being a wackadoodle. Kim, I'm so sorry, Maria. My mom said those same words to me. Yeah, and I, since I'm not a parent, I never thought of that like alone. I'm as an only child, I've been so independent all my life. I'm like, no, I'm gonna be okay. But what a scary thing for a parent to have to worry. I was like, don't worry about me. I got all of you, and no matter what, whether we've ever met in person or not, I feel like I know every single one of you. My daughter has been knocked down since day one and struggled through life. She turned 18 in March and just graduated high school. She's the most determined person I know. Oh, she sounds amazing, Jazzy Bees. Let's see. ND Carey, you are never alone. You're the reason we're family. You are the Mirabelle of our Encanto. Oh, ND Carey, you're gonna make me cry. Oh my goodness. You're just the sweetest thing. She even remembered it was Orthodox Easter. And I don't know how you always remember that. And I don't even talk about it. And you're like, oh, hello, happy Easter. You're always so thoughtful. ND Carey, thank you. And Linda making me smile. Lori. Hey, Lori, I'm glad. I'm sorry. Literally, it's a fun fact. Lori ordered and we sent it to her hotel, the Polynesian. For some reason, they sent it back. on our way the other day to go back down to my mom, I was like, Chris, if you can't, I'm gonna go head to my mom, but if you can go make sure Lori gets her shirt. And so I'm glad you got it and all good. Yay. So yes, even with the chaos of everything, I'm like, no, that we have a responsibility, which is so special. What an honor, a responsibility of getting to create magic through apparel or through this. So I was like, no, Lori's getting her shirt. I don't care if the car isn't working. I don't care if we're in hospitals. I don't care if whatever it is, we're not, for me, it's never an excuse, because how lucky am I that I even get to do this? And sometimes also it gives you a purpose. So when you feel sad and you're like, oh, I just want to, cave in, sometimes having a purpose helps you distract as well from what's happening. So I'm glad you got everything. Yay. And yes, we're even doing a sale at Shop LBV. Chris is literally at home doing orders. He's going to be there because, again, that's what keeps the lights on. And we got to get the roof also without a hole. So Chris is there. He's doing your orders. And he even says, he's like, it's relaxing for him. It's like, okay, there's a sense of normalcy that we don't have often with never a dull moment. But when it comes to the shop, there is that consistency, that feeling of, okay, this is our thing that brings us joy, and we get to bring joy to others and magic, and it, again, gives us that sense of purpose. So there's even a sale going on. It's basically 2 shirts and you get 1 free, mystery picked by Chris. We check out your past orders so you won't get duplicates. So it's a awesome deal. And Chris is the one doing them right now because I'm not at the house. But trust me, Chris has a good pick of, again, what you guys like if you're ordering, so don't worry. Steamboat Disney, you're beautiful inside and out. Disney brings the child out, and I wonder if you take time to appreciate. It does. John says work usually gets me through things. Yeah, I think it's a balance of stuff. Sometimes, I have a bad habit where I will immerse myself in something to distract. It might be work. It might be something else. Like, I don't know. One time I decided to go on a 2-day do taxes thing to try to distract myself. So it's good to balance. I'm not good at that. I'm still working on it. Kathy, hey, thanks for being here. Pamela, we're family because of you. Oh my goodness, what a blessing to have, and Pamela's family. Her 2 amazing sons, so handsome and so sweet. I get to feel like I have brothers, I always wanted a big brother. And I know EJ isn't technically older than me, but he's so big, I feel like he's my big brother. And Dakota, you're my little brother. So, and Pamela's like an honorary, aunt. It's awesome. Car breaks down before. See, retro Randy. That's what I'm saying. So I wonder if more people looked at the world. Sorry if you saw what retro Randy wrote. Car breaks down before the brakes fail. Hotel room offered when the power goes out. So that's how I try to look at life. One could say, oh, the car broke down and then they saw stuff with the brakes. Instead, I look at it as, oh, thank God I didn't get in the car and drive and we found out about the brakes. Or, oh, how amazing with the power going out. I mean, God knows those Disney prices are insane for hotel rooms. The lovely Jill April, I don't know if she's watching, had DVC points she didn't use and offered to have us stay at Animal Kingdom Lodge, which was amazing because I love animals. And I was like, oh my God. But yeah, we had no power, we had no air conditioning, and I mean, how blessed am I that it wasn't even like, oh, here's a room somewhere, or here's some help, some sort of magical moment, So yes, did we have to throw out everything in the fridge? Yes. Did we have to, a lot of stuff went wrong, and that was a problem because the power went out. A lot of things that caused more time and issues, money, but I tried to look at it as like, wow, well, how lucky that I at least had a moment of something magical. And then yes, back to reality. Robin, thank you for everything you do. Get a coffee on me. Oh my goodness, Robin, I have so many caffeinated beverages. They stopped working. I got colas. I got Diet Coke. This is Celsius. But I've never had it happen where the caffeine stopped working. That is how bad things got. So Robin, I will take you up on that. Thank you. That is so kind of you. Trust me, I've been chugging coffees, colas, everything to stay awake. Jenny says, thank you for reminding us to be positive. Yeah, for me, people on Instagram were like, wait, what is going on? Because I don't really tell people about the bad stuff. Like, oh, a roof fell through, or like, oh, I don't like complaining because I know somebody out there is dealing with something way worse. So for me, I'm like, I'm just going to go and fix it. Or I will, obviously with close family, friends, Patreon's a very intimate group. So that's where we all get together. We, think of it like a group family chat. We all get together and we let it all hang out. So it's a little different. But I always feel stupid complaining about anything. I feel like the internet has given a lot of people a voice, and I always want to make sure when I use it, it's worthwhile, because that again is a blessing. And I think too many people take it as a right instead of a responsibility. Does that make sense? I think a lot of people with the birth of the internet look at it like, well, I deserve to be heard. Well, if you have that opportunity to be heard, use it wisely and for good. And that, because a lot of people just, you've said it. So I don't know. I hope whenever people watch and join us, know that for me, I count what I do as a blessing, and that I better use whatever I say, whatever I do, that it matters and that it does something good. I'm in Texas, says Jerry. We had no power. I remember that, Jerry. Oh my God, with the turtles too. The turtles were dying, and people were running into the sea to get the turtles out that were freezing to death. Crazy stuff. Oh my goodness, I remember that. Beaker and Honeydew in Texas. Let's see. Princess says, Patreon has really become a chosen family for many of us. Yeah, it's just a place where I and everybody else is very open, and there's a lot more behind the scenes, but I really love the fact of how much everybody interacts and has become like best friends. Like, again, I don't know how many of you know, Chris had, because this has been the craziest month ever, and I say that a lot, but Chris had a celebrity soccer tournament. And I've been fighting, I'm okay now, but I've been fighting a sinus infection, then became a bronchial infection, and I got fevers. That's why I wasn't live, and Chris had to take you. And, Chris said it would be the last time he plays soccer. And so I said, well, I don't care how sick I am. It was just about getting the right antibiotics and being able to rest well enough to do it. I said, I want to go. I want to see you one last time playing. And did I make myself sicker? Yes. But a bunch of our Patreon family came, and I'll share some of it. I have at least this phone. I don't know. I know John's in here. I don't know if Thorin is in here. Yeah, that's Lauren. Sandy says, oh my goodness, thank you for being you. Oh, Sandy. Oh my goodness. Well, I told Chris we need to get an RV like you and just shimmy on a vacation eventually, but I think that's next year. I think we've taken a lot of sick days as vacation days now. But no, I can't thank you enough. You guys are too sweet. This is Chris after the game saying hi to some of our LBV family, like Tanya, and they came from all over. John is in Baltimore. I don't know if Mrs. Darth Vader's in here or Jackson, her son, all the way from New York. And we had a blast. Now that's just Chris saying hi. But then we went and all the LBV family, we partied. Let's see if I can find some of the videos. I have to post these. So there was basically like little bars and things at this tournament. And so that's LBV family on the patio, hanging out, chilling. That's Chris, that's John. Let's see, Mr. Darth Vader. That's Jackson. And everybody's Jackson's twerking. It's Jackson dancing. But again, we're all hanging out. It was awesome, and I said, I don't care if I get even sicker. It was worth getting to spend time with our LBV family, our LBV page. That's Thorin, that's Lauren, and Mrs. Darth Vader. It was just so special. And, again, in a million years would I have thought that people would come from all over the U.S. To come hang out and just be together. And so that makes it now more than ever. I want to have like an LBV get together in Orlando, 100%. James, yeah, basically it was like shots. This is our LBV family, guys. Look at them dancing. That's John Henkel in here. That is Mr. and Mrs. Darth Vader. That's John. Dance, I love it. So that's me down below taking video of them. It's just so awesome. Again, in a million years, I may have, like I said, no blood relatives left except for my mom. But man, it's just so awesome to feel like I had the whole family. And they're just so awesome. Linda says she wanted to drive down. And, Linda, the one thing that sucked about the soccer event was they didn't give us any free tickets. So the tickets were as expensive as like going to Disney for a day. And I just didn't want anybody to feel like, I'd rather you go to Disney and see me. But John and Mrs. Darth Vader and Tanya and all these people did listen to me and they still came down. But I was like, oh my goodness. I hope Chris wins the lottery so we could take y'all to Disney. Andy with a super chat. Oh my goodness. I missed it. I'm so sorry. Oh no, I don't know where it went. Oh, no problem, music and theme park world. Well, Andy, that is too sweet of you. You did not have to send anything. Oh my goodness, Andy across the pond, who's always just so kind. I'm sorry I missed your super chat, Andy, while I was showing the LBV dance party in North Carolina at Chris's soccer tournament. But it was really awesome. We also had dinner afterwards. We all went out, and let me see if I can find those photos. Andy, I hope one day you can come visit us from Wales and spend time with us, all of you. Again, coolest thing in the world. John, can I show them your car? That's John Henkel's car. I was like, this is the greatest thing I've ever seen. I won't show him your license plate, but I was like, I don't believe he has that. That's so cool. Yeah, our people are amazing. Let's see. Sorry, trying to catch up. Maria, do you and Chris? We do have a lot of hoodies. I mean, this is my pullover. We make a lot of stuff. We have even scrunchies. I stopped making them just because they're now you can kind of probably buy them places Disney makes them. But we have hats, we have hoodies, we have pullovers. I'm always cold in a house. So yeah, no, we tried to make a lot of stuff. Let's see. Let's see. The Disney beans, I just hope, like I said, I bring you guys that kind of joy. I mean, how blessed am I? I had like 100-degree fever and I got to have that. You know what I mean? So it's like, okay, give me the 100-degree fever. I get to have these amazing people that I can have fun with. And I think when you have a chronic health issue, I think and let me know if you have any chronic health problems. It just becomes normal that you're not going to feel well when you do normal things. And so you can either let it stop you, or you can just make the best of it if you can. Now, it's not always an option. Sometimes, again, my health is and it is what it is. But I was like, look, I'm going to have fun with our friends and at least try to enjoy one last special moment where Chris gets to play soccer. Let's see. Kim M, we just ordered our first shirts a couple weeks ago. Longtime fans, your LBV event helped us through rough times. Sending our best vibes your way. Oh, thank you, Kim. Oh, you're so sweet. Thank you for being here. I'm honored. Oh my goodness, you guys are too kind. And yes, like I said, Chris is even designing something new, but there is a restock coming of something very special. You guys want to see? Okay, you guys ready? Okay. Here is a sneak peek of what's coming. Oh, why isn't it playing? So this is also right before my mom, everything happened. Literally hours later, my mom had everything go. But luckily, we did this right before everything went crazy pants. So do you guys know what that shirt is that we're restocking? Maria, I'm going to ride town for the second time. Oh, that's amazing. I'm wearing my riverboat tee now. I love this one so much. Let's see. And again, if you guys didn't see, oh yeah, by the way, did you know we have like SMS texts now? Chris set that up and you can technically text us. Yeah, it's really cool. Who got an SMS by going to the Shop LBV site? If you type in your phone number, we made it so that you can actually text us back and I see it. Now, I don't know if I'm opening Pandora's box and I'm going to all of a sudden get like 3,000 messages. Hasn't happened yet. I haven't told anybody about it. So we're going to find out. But yes, you can absolutely text us back. Let's see. Oh my goodness, Nita. Well, Nita, there is a lawsuit against Levaquin. So if that happened to you, because something weird happened with my mom and Levaquin too, and they asked her to be a part of the lawsuit, but she didn't. She was like, my mom's. But no, supposedly Levaquin's don't take Levaquin. I'm sorry that happened to you. Let's see. Oh, Allie said my teen was, oh my gosh. Well, when I can, I write. So when Chris does the orders, he doesn't really write anything because he's awkward. And he's like, oh no, it's all right. But when I package your order, sometimes I try to write something if I recognize a name. And my handwriting is awful. It's terrible. So everybody has told me, please stop writing notes. So that makes me happy that you liked my note and your daughter did. And I'm sorry she's being bullied. Who's bullying her and what do I need to do? Well, you let those bullies know that, how old is she, by the way? Teen. Let those bullies know that none of the bullies in high school end up doing anything good with their lives. And just, by the way, remind her this. It is like what do they call it, a trope. Like it's almost like a destiny. If you're a bully in high school or in any sort of format, you never win. You end up being the loser in the future. You end up being, it's almost like a guarantee. So if you want to end up having a terrible future, be a bully. It's a guarantee. I'll never forget, I was so bullied as a kid. You know, I've always been like a weird kid, you know, like 13 going on 50. So I did not connect with anybody my age. I went to an all-girls school too, so that was awful. Girls are not nice in groups. So, and also me being really nice, they're like, oh, she's easy prey, get her. So yeah, if you're from high school watching, you guys were awful. I got beat up and put in a bathroom once. So my dad said, look, I know this sucks, but can you push through? Because if you can get through this, there is nothing worse than an all-girls school in high school. You'll be able to handle anything in the future. And he's like, also, can you outsmart them? So like I figured out a system to kind of keep to myself, and I would write music and like go kind of hang out in the music room and hide from them. And I would go write and I would do my own thing. I learned computers and like doing all this cool computer stuff. And before computers was really popular and, you know, the internet was around. So I would do a whole bunch of stuff learning, you name it. And because of all of that time spent hiding from the bullies, learning skill sets, I ended up being the graduation speaker. 10 years later, they asked me to come back. I ended up on, you know, working in television, and they were like, hey, will you come back and, you know, give a graduation speech? I was like, man, this school sucked. I was like, but yeah, I'll come back and hopefully maybe remind people, hey, don't be a jerk, because the people that were jerks are basically stuck in a loop living out their worst nightmare back in our hometown. So be nice, otherwise you are destined to be what you see in the movies that the bullies become. Yeah, it's never worked out differently. So let her know she's gonna be okay. Just give it 5 years. When she's out of there, she's gonna be fine. But I'll never forget being asked to come back. I was like, me, the one that got shoved in the bathroom and got beat up. I was like, you want me to come back and give a speech? I was like, well, I'll give a speech. So yeah. LBV bite. Buy your mom some flowers. I've never missed a live stream. Oh my goodness, Andy. I will buy her flowers. And I'll say they're from Andy. She knows who you are. Because she's always like, oh, he's so sweet. Because we save all the Patreon cocktail hours, by the way. And by the way, so we do Zoom, in case you're like, what is a Patreon cocktail? We do Zoom cocktail hours on Patreon, where you can see people's faces if they so choose to have their camera on. You don't have to have your camera on. But luckily, Beaker and Honeydew, they save them, they record them, so that if you miss it, you can watch. And so my mom watches them, and she loves you guys. But yeah, she knows exactly who you are. James, what? Oh yeah, Biff ended up waxing cars. Yeah. No, again, people would never guess, like, oh, Maria was bullied. But yeah, me and my friend Ashley, you met, you know, Ashley, who joins me on the live streams when she comes once or twice a year. Yeah, we were bullied mercilessly. And ironically, we probably became the two most successful people to come out of our high school ever. Which is also sad because we're not that successful. So I don't know what that says about my high school. But yeah. I was like, that's pretty lame. We're not very successful. I mean, we're, you know, like, our jobs are cool, if that makes sense. But yeah, it was nice going back to the high school and just reminding kids, like, hey, if you're a jerk, it's not gonna go well for you. But yeah, I remember my dad always telling me that, and I didn't believe it until I grew up and was like, oh, the real world doesn't work like this. There aren't, you know, there's still gonna be bullies. But it gets better. Excuse me. Maria bullied the beast one time. I ran him over. Oh my God, I didn't mean to. I was so embarrassed. That was on a live stream, really. Alice, hello. In my speech, no, I just said, you know, what you do now dictates the kind of person you'll become. I think I said in the graduation speech. And I did let them know. I was like, would you guess, like, that the girl on TV, because I used to work in news, was bullied mercilessly here, that I was shoved in a bathroom, and I was like, whatever. I said, most likely, if you've been bullied, you're going to do really well later on in life. There's some sort of, I guess, I think toughness that comes from learning that makes you tough enough to handle anything in life. And also how to handle things positively, too. I mean, I think God was just like, hey, you know what? If we throw enough stuff at Maria, she'll handle whatever comes our way. So, yeah, it does, you know. It's interesting. I don't know if you guys deal with this if you have children, but, you know, there is a school of thought of, you know, if you let kids feel some pain, you know, like, hell, my parents as immigrant family were like, you're fine. Whatever it is, deal with it. You're going to be okay. But I know we shy away from pain. And I think feeling pain here to an extent is okay and healthy, because it allows you to understand empathy. It allows you to understand how to learn to react in situations in a positive way. It gives you the opportunity to grow. And I think our culture has tried to protect and bubble children so much from pain. And as a parent, I get it. Like, I'm not one, but I see my mom. She wants to protect me so much. But ironically, letting me experience pain, whether it be emotionally, whether it be understanding and feeling pain of losing somebody, the pain of, you know, being bullied, the pain of a chronic health issue, all of that helped me learn how to handle what life was going to throw at me later on. And so if you do have kids, you know, I would say, you know, let them know it's okay to feel it. It's okay to sit with it. It's okay to ask questions how to deal with it rather than just protect them. You know, that even comes into what we see on the internet or whatever, and trying to protect them. You know, it's a tough balance in this kind of new world. Let's see. A Doyle rule. Oh, thank you, Alice. Oh, Stitchell remembers it too. Oh my gosh. Oh, so embarrassing. I can't wait to be back in Disney with all of you guys. James says I was horribly bullied. And look how funny you are and awesome. Oh yeah. People always ask where my humor comes from. I think it's from dealing with stuff. There's a famous 30 Rock. There's a character by Tina Fey called Liz Lemon. And Alec Baldwin's character says to her, what happened to you that made you end up having an amazing sense of humor? Like, what terrible thing happened? But I do believe if something terrible has happened to you, I think a lot of times you counteract it with humor. Because what else are you going to do? Like, you kind of have to. But when I heard that, I was like, oh my God, that's so true. Like, I feel like a lot, let me know if you agree. If you have, I mean, there's so many of you who are so funny in here. Roy, all of you, feel free to chime in. Do you feel that the bad things that happened to you in life kind of gave you your sense of humor? Hello, Megan Frost. Let's see. The problem is that parents talk to each other about being bullied, but I don't think they talk to kids about not being the bully. Oh, well, that's, I mean, I wonder, again, I don't know. I never thought to ask. Like, I would almost love to ask my high school bullies, like, what made you that way? Like, why? Like, in my mind, I would never even think to do that. Like, you know, is it household? Is it, like, environment? Is it, you know, what is it? I don't know that answer. I'd be really curious to know. Amy says, your stream made me think it was still Sunday. Yeah, Sunday Funday continues. Nita, well, I'd like to think people bullied end up being successful and funny and awesome. But also, there's some people who get bullied, and if they don't have the, you know, support system, you know, sometimes bad stuff can happen where they don't push through it the way I was able to. And I don't think that makes anybody weak, but that's why things like this, like having a support system, not everybody has a parent that knows what to say or do. And sometimes as a parent, you don't know what to say or do. But having a support system, like, hey, it gets better, a reminder, it gets better. Because sometimes there are some people who, if you hurt them enough, just like anything, just like a table, it breaks, put enough pressure on it. Or in my mom's case, when her table exploded, yes, her glass table exploded. There was not even pressure put on it, just exploded. So sometimes so it's a fine line of rising to the occasion and not being able to even push through if it gets that bad. So that's why keep an eye out for kids who are going through something, or just also adults. If you see somebody struggling, and sometimes the people who are struggling the most aren't going to tell you. Unfortunately, the people I've lost to suicide, they never said a thing. They were funny, they were amazing, and it was when they were the most quiet that, because I think sometimes people in deep pain don't say it. So just keep an eye out for those people, and if you see somebody not doing great or you're not hearing from them, check in. Not everybody can push through, and so sometimes they need a little love, even if it's somebody you don't know well. Amy, I was very imaginative. I had like Mickey dolls and animals that were my friends, and so yeah. Let's see. Yeah, no, I have a cousin in Jersey. I do. But so we're a Greek Italian family, so it's just weird. Like, I think it's just because my mom had me very late in life. But yeah, everybody's unfortunately passed. Grandparents are gone. My dad's gone. And everybody, unfortunately, because they were older, my mom had me very late in life. And so, yeah, everybody's kind of messed up. But no, I got my cousin in Jersey. But you would think, as a Greek Italian family, like the movie, yeah, I don't got that. It's just so weird. Yeah, Jersey. That's right. I was like, I got my. So yeah, we love our cousin in Jersey. He is amazing, and we love him, and he's so awesome. But yeah, my mom all the time, she was like, "Don't forget your cousin in Jersey." And my cousin in Jersey, to give you an idea, because my mom had me so late in life. I'm trying to remember what he would be to my mom. He's like 65 or 70. No, maybe he's not. Maybe he's 65. But anyway, he's like 65. So it's just like, it's crazy when you have a kid late in life, everybody's ages are so off. Like, it's insane. Let's see. And Princess is amazing. Roy, Princess, a lot of you know, I get quiet a lot of times when things are crazy, and they are always so sweet. They check in. Pamela, like our Patreon family, I can't thank you guys enough. They know me too well. Yeah, often when I'm going through something, you'll see I don't think I've posted on Instagram in like weeks. Like nothing. Like at all. Like I can't even focus enough to type in a post. I have a business I'm supposed to, but I'm just like, it's not where my head is. I caught you live, says Mimi in Long Island. Where in Long Island? Diane says, just me, my mom, my brother. I have 4 aunts. Well, you have a big family here, Diana. And sounds like you have an awesome family, both relatives and, of course, LBV. We should start, mornings with Maria. I know it's afternoon, but we'll have coffee, talk life. I hate being an only child. Oh, see, Amy, I didn't get the spoiled thing because I have immigrant parents, and they were like, oh, we have to be really difficult with her. I know I didn't get that cool benefit. Have you guys ever seen like immigrant families, like with their kids, It's like I don't know what it is. I think it's because I'm like, hey, you should be grateful you even get to live in America. Like, so everything is, nope, your gift is you get to live here. So all the time my parents would remind me, you're lucky you're here. Otherwise, if you were in Greece, you would have no options and you wouldn't get to go to school or do anything, or, in Egypt. So part of my family's from like Bulgaria, Egypt, Macedonia, like as you go into north of Africa and parts of, they were Greece at one point, but it's almost Middle East. But my mom's like, oh, no, if you were in Egypt, this would be, just a reminder. So that was the card my parents always pulled on me. Growing up, they were like, yep, no, you're lucky you're here. That's your gift. Enjoy. Coffee talk with verklept. You guys ever see that Saturday Night Live with Mike Myers and Madonna, I think? And it's coffee talk. And they're like, oh, verklept. Yeah, I was. No joke, Roy, what he's talking about is my mom, because I was so excited to see characters or things, I would just run. I would run at it. I still do that. Ironically, even decades later into adulthood, I'm like, oh, and I run. And there's no thinking involved. I just see something. I'm so excited and I run. I've not changed since I was 6. So my mom had to get those leashes because they would lose me all the time in Disney World. And so I would just run off with a character. Like oftentimes they'd find me like roaming with like Pooh or like somebody. One time I joined another family and my mom's like, I'll never forget this like random family, like let you come with them because they were concerned about you. And we see you with some other big family. And I'm like, oh, so no, my mom had to get a leash for me. It was like old school with like a phone cord almost and like on a wrist. Like it's not the ones that are good for kids. It was like the 1990s wrist bracelet that they put on you with like a phone cord looking thing, and they were just like having a good cry and good laugh. Yeah, I always say just get it all out, guys. And also that's what I thought it'd be fun to do this was I don't often on live streams talk about these kind of personal things. Again, on Patreon, I know they've heard some of this before, but I thought I would love for you guys who might not be part of Patreon to get to know our Patreon family, get to know each other, and chat, and see again how your lives work, because right now you're not distracted by Disney, so you're able to read the chat and able to see like how special and amazing these people are. I mean, for example, over here, we see Kate in here. I moved across the country to try to better my boring life. Hard to find friends in a new city as an adult. Also struggling to find a job. I know you lost your job. I mentioned that because we were trying to help her find a new job. So again, Kate's story, getting to learn, a perfect example. A lot of people think moving to Disney like cures something. Your problems come with you. It's a great distraction, don't get me wrong, especially if you have a medical chronic illness. I think it's great. Like Ashley, my friend that you've met before that has been on our live streams, her brother is autistic. If you are autistic or have a family member who's autistic or on the spectrum, it is such a wonderful, welcoming place. Orlando is like, I can't tell you the horror stories I've heard of Ashley and her brother in Philadelphia trying to take care of having a, neurodivergent family member. But man, you can find jobs, community, support. If you have health issues, yes, I understand the DAS pass doesn't work at all now. That's a whole other story. But man, there's an amazing community for those who are chronically ill, really supportive. So I do think there is an amazing thing about Orlando of welcoming people who are different. So if you're different in any way, it could be health-wise, it could be, anything. It is a very, okay, you're different? That's okay. We'll figure out how to, have you join the group, join the Mickey Mouse Club, or in this case, the LBV Club. I'll never forget being at the Boathouse. Another reason, please support the Boathouse. It's an amazing restaurant. Since their opening, they have a wonderful man named Jimmy who works there, and he is Down syndrome, and he is your host when you enter, if you guys ever met Jimmy, and he is a delight. And I love the fact that Jimmy is front and center when you walk in to show you where to go and tell you about the boathouse. And, you know, in Philadelphia, Ashley's autistic brother can't even get a job at the grocery store. That's not fair. I mean, Jimmy's amazing. I can't imagine not getting to know Jimmy. And he's been there almost since the beginning of the boathouse. And he's still there. He's awesome. And, you know, so again, it's just such a welcoming place, Orlando. So if you are different or have family members who are different or differently abled, I do think it's the only city I've been in where people come out of the woodwork to help remind you you're not so different. And I love that. I just think that's so special. I mean, I always felt different as a kid. And I think, again, that's maybe another reason this DAS pass is an issue for so many. It's Disney's the place that's supposed to remind you you're not so different. But your differences are celebrated. Like in Philadelphia, no offense, brotherly love, I don't see people running to help, you know. Oh. What was that? Sorry, I was like, my mom's not here. Who's at the door? It's a condo. Hold on a second. Sorry, it freaked me out. I was like, nobody's supposed to be here. I was like, who's at the door? It's okay. Luckily, I'm live. Something happens to me, you know who to call, guys. What was I gonna say? I do know my mom's friends, by the way, speaking of friends, if you're over 50, an over 50s community is awesome. My mom has these great friends who live in the building, and they're all like hanging out with her or helping. I know some of them are gonna come by later, so I was like, maybe that's them. That's why I was like, are the ladies coming? My mom has a group of ladies, and they're called the Widows Club. I'm not kidding you. That's what I was like, it's called the Widows Club? She's like, yeah, it's the Widows Club. And they do fun stuff, and they take care of each other. So, you know, my mom has quite the incredible friend group. And so, again, speaking of learning lessons, if you are on the wiser side, you know, a senior citizen who's paid their dues in life and deserves to love life, you know what I'm saying? If you guys made it that far, you deserve to go enjoy the world and people, and no questions asked. But yeah, the one biggest thing that helped my mom, not having a family, she doesn't have this like I do, was, you know, an over 50s community. And they've really come together as, you know, these are people that never knew each other from all over the country. And, you know, another, again, speaking of a magical place, it's not Disney, but for my mom, these over 50 communities in Florida were a place where you're all in the same boat. You're all dealing with whatever is happening in your older years. If you're alone, all of a sudden you're reminded you're not alone. So I joke, my mom lives in her own little Disney World, but it's you know, it's Florida. Let's see, Volusia County. Is that where you're at? Ghosties. Oh no, we don't want any ghosties. Let's see. Oh, Amy. Well, you know, you never know nowadays with jobs. There's so many options that don't require being in an office anymore, don't require a lot of things that they used to. I'm a perfect example. I couldn't do normal jobs like most people. I can't do a 9 to 5 with my health problems. And so, I mean, this is kind of a beautiful accident. Making the apparel, you know, again, sometimes I'm working at 4 a.m. when I feel okay, or if I can't sleep because I'm not feeling okay. It's a win-win. So just know that because it feels like a door is closed when it comes to occupations, there's a lot of options out there that you may have not thought of. So, keep your eyes open, and, feel free to type in the chat if you have any ideas. If you're, one of those people that knows jobs that are kind of off the beaten path, don't require a 9 to 5, feel free to type in the chat. Dan says, I'm watching you at work. Oh, I'm honored. Alice says, I want a community. Oh, it's the best thing I could advise you. Anybody over 50. Vacation planner Kimmy. Oh, I love you back. Oh, just know that you are a light as well, just by being here and supporting one another. Trust me, my little light is magnified because it's like, think of it like a tiny little candle. I'm a tiny little candle. And then each one of you that joins here, it's like another candle, another candle, and another candle. So it's like Noelle's a candle, April's a candle, and then all of a sudden this little light all of a sudden is like, whoo. So Kimmy, moral of the story is that little tiny light I minutely shine, it's very tiny. It's magnified times a million with each one of you that joins, like Beaker and Honeydew, Diana, all of you. So me, I'm just maybe like the little light that you're like, oh, I'm gonna go right next to it. So just remember in your life, join those groups of light, because it's gonna shine so bright the more and more you're attracted to, again, those kind of like positive people. Oh, Julie, oh my goodness. I'm honored, don't make me cry. You guys are so sweet, oh my goodness. I can't thank you enough. Oh, Noelle, I love you. You're the best too. So yeah, I always tell people, go where there is some light, and then you're going to find more and more light and more light. So yeah, when people say, oh, you're so positive, my light only shines so bright because of the people around it. And that also goes the other way around. Say you have a bright shining light in you, but you surround yourself with people who are dark, or they maybe negative, or all of a sudden that light of yours is going to get darker and darker and darker and darker. And I've been there. I've also sometimes chosen people in my life that were not positive, and made my light and my everything smaller and darker and darker. So just know too, it goes the other way. So be careful of, again, it's easier said than done, but there's also that ability of the most shiny person on earth, the most brightest light being squashed due to the people around it that, might be covering it or squashing it. Oh, thank you, the boss. Oh my goodness. Well, you the boss. You the boss. Oh, thank you, Nita. So much love to you and all you've been through. It sounds like you've been through the ringer too, and you're still doing amazing, Nita. I'm so, so proud of you. Let's see. Roy says, I have yet to meet anyone I can't make laugh. And what a gift that is. That's amazing. That's the coolest thing on earth. I think laughter is the best medicine other than a dog. Disney's third. Shiny, happy people holding hands. Shine bright like a diamond. Oh, thank you. Yeah, we're just catching up. And everybody, I said, come in here and just get it all out. Whatever you're dealing with, let it out today. And you'll be shocked how many people have a recommendation or an inspiring answer or just a way to kind of lift you up. I mean, hence Roy said he might not be able to fix your problem, but he's going to make you laugh. So there's that too. Let's see. Welcome everybody. Monday Moments with Maria. I feel like this is maybe something we should do, every so often. Like I said, to catch up and get to know each other. So if you're just joining, one thing I asked everybody to do is something we do on our Patreon private live streams or our cocktail hours when we go on Zoom together. And I don't care what celebrity joins us on our Zoom cocktail hour. they know the first thing I will do is make everybody, in case they don't know each other, say something unique about themselves or something that makes them them. So I'm going to remind you, in case you just joined, please put something about yourself that makes you you or unique. And no joke, I've had a Muppeteer wait because I was like, we have some, I had Patreon members that were getting to know one another that were new. And I was like, no, he's waiting. He had his puppet and everything ready. And I was like, nope, Patreon, we're chatting. I just think it's so special how we're able to get to know one another and realize how unique everybody is if you just take a second to hear from one another or read each other's comments. Let's see. There's literally a thing called Mental Health Mondays. I know, but mental health should be every day. It shouldn't be just on Monday. It should be every day. Let's see. I'm not all about days. I'm like, you know what? Make every day hot dog day. You want a hot dog? Celebrate on a random Wednesday. You like pizza? Every day is pizza day. So yeah, I'm all about every day being a holiday is my motto. Andrew says cheesesteaks are a great gift too. Go Philly. I love your eyeliner. Oh, I've been crying and stuff. Disney mom, so hopefully I don't look crazy pants. Did you say, hey, I birthed an opera singer? Did you give birth to somebody who sings opera? So Andrea, he's going to get to play again. So Chris thought he would be so bad that he wouldn't get to play again. He did get injured because why not? That's basically our June has been... So yeah, May into June, everybody getting sick, Chris getting injured. But he was so good, even with everything that happened, they asked him to play again. So he will get to play again. So when he thought it was his last chance to ever get to play a soccer game professionally, it wasn't. So when you think one door closes, bam. Oh, I love you, Atlas. Crazy pants, says RJ. Let's see. Oh, Anita ate a hot dog. Yes. So fun fact, I love hot dogs. I'm not supposed to eat them, but I love them. Maybe that's so cool. See, neat, cool facts. People, write your cool facts. She gave birth to an opera singer. It's amazing. That's incredible. Yeah, so if you guys want, next year, we'll find out when he does this, but the tickets are stupidly expensive. Like, so he was on ESPN, so was John Henkel. John Henkel was on ESPN too. So it is a professional event with like soccer and celebrities and stuff, but I feel like I want you guys to pay that money to come to Disney. I don't want you to get stuck with tickets. Again, Chris was like, don't tell anybody because we don't want them to have to be like worried about the cost of a ticket and stuff. But so many people came anyways, which was so sweet and so amazing. You guys are incredible, so thank you. Oh, thanks, Becca. Yeah. So on Patreon, if you're there, we put a lot of behind the scenes from the live streams that were on TV. So you can see some of that. You can see all of us cheering and freaking out in the background. My daughter taught herself how to read at 3.5. What? That's amazing. Taught herself? Mind blown. That's incredible. We're having hot dogs for dinner today. I love hot dogs. Oh my gosh, amazing. It was 1 a.m. Nothing else was going on while I was on ESPN. More people saw you then because it was so late, John. I love that. Yeah, so the games were on ESPN. So that was really cool. What's Circus with the Stars? Because that sounds like a great show. Please tell me that was a real show. Like somebody was like a high trapeze act, Brad Pitt, something. I'm an extra on a trampoline. I work with people with children weekly in schools that have different needs. That is wonderful. Oh my gosh, you guys are so amazing. Oh my gosh. No, Chris has never been to the Olympics. Have I even been on? I've never even like, I'm trying to think. I've been to like an Olympic game to watch a qualifier. Yeah, I think they had like ping pong at my school once as a qualifier. Is ping pong like still a sport? It was a real show, James. All right, I need to watch this. Everybody's eating hot dogs. I need to find the circus show. How did it get turned off? Sounds amazing. Becca, I'll have to post it. I have it somewhere on my phone. I'll post it on Patreon. Yes, I miss it. Alfonso Ribeiro was on it too, says Amy. What? Oh my god, it's amazing. The Disney Channel games. I remember Wild and Crazy Kids on Nickelodeon, and I met Donnie Jeffcoat. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, this is like I was a 90s kid, and so in the 90s they had a show called Wild and Crazy Kids, and they would do like games, and one of the people that was a host was Donnie Jeffcoat. And I was at a party or an event or something, and I kept staring at this guy, and I'm like, I know you from somewhere. I'm like, did you grow up in wherever? And he's like, what year were you born? And he's like, oh, I'm Donnie Jeffcoat from Wild and Crazy Kids. And I was like, what? And he is now a personal chef. Yeah. And he's much shorter than he is on TV. I remember thinking, I was like, oh my god, I had such a crush on you. I was like, you don't look like you have any. Sorry, Donnie Jeffcoat. Hopefully he never sees this. You were lovely. You probably don't even remember meeting me. It's okay. But he was lovely. Chris says, you remember that? Yeah, so Donnie Jeffcoat. And I had a big crush on him as a kid. Let's see. My choir got to perform at Epcot. That's amazing. Battle of the Network Stars. Wow. Yeah, I need to start finding these shows because I do have a lot of free time with my mom now in the hospital to show her shows. She loves Korean TV. I don't know. I suppose the Korean soap operas are amazing. She lives for Korean soap operas. I'm slowly learning Korean. My mom also loves BTS. So weird. My mom, she is interesting. Never a dull moment also with her. I love my shop. LBV just trying to decide the one to get next. Oh, we love Kristen right down Main Street. She's one of my best friends and we love her. She is awesome. I'm so glad you love them. Chris right now is taking care of your orders. At Shop LBV, we're doing a 2 get a 3rd free shirt. Chris will make sure you don't get duplicates from past orders. So it is an amazing deal. And that is because we have to pay for a roof that's got a hole in it and a car that doesn't work and has no brakes. So I was like, Chris, free shirt it is. Because we're going to lose our shirt anyways, so we might as well give them out. Never a dull moment. Love the one. Yeah, Donnie Jeffcoat. Yeah, he's like 5'3". Have you ever done the wilderness truck tour at Animal Kingdom? No. Jilly Jill, is that Jill April? Because if it is, I've been talking about you. Let me know if that's Jill April. So, remember guys, I was saying that our power went out and we were so blessed that a lovely woman, Jill April, who is an LBVer, gifted us a suite at Animal Kingdom Lodge at the DVC Kidani Village. So I don't know if that's but even if you're not Jill April, thanks for being here, other Jill. We have a lot of amazing Jills as a part of our family. But we were saying earlier how even when things are bad, to look for the silver lining, even when things are hard. Guys, that's Jill. Oh my God, I've been talking about you. Go watch the replay earlier. I was talking all about you. We were saying how lucky, yes, I understand my roof collapse. I understand the rain decided to destroy what might be a very expensive thing. The power went out. But how lucky am I that somebody so thoughtful gifted me the greatest and most amazing thing in the world, which was getting to go to Animal Kingdom. And even if it was just for a few hours to distract myself from what was happening, So I was just telling people there's always a silver lining to something if you look at it that way. You know, in my case, very blatantly a silver lining, but sometimes you have to look a little harder. Like, for example, the car that didn't start. Luckily it didn't start, and yes, it's going to cost a lot of money, but thank God it didn't start, because we found out the brakes are all messed up. And what if I'd gotten in the car, never known the brakes weren't going to go? You know, even with my mom's issues going on, I said, thank God your other leg didn't break, because that was the really bad one that shattered 2 years ago. And that it was a clean break. And my mom's like, how are you so positive to this? And I was like, I think because you have to be. Otherwise, you know, every day we were talking about the Rocky quote. Again, a reminder, the Rocky quote is, nothing hits as hard as life. And it's not about, you know, again, trying to be tougher than life, because you're not going to be able to beat it. You're not going to be able to beat how hard life's going to hit you. It's, can you keep moving forward? Can you take the hit and keep going? And I think the one way to do that is to find those silver linings and to just be grateful for what you do have. Even when somebody passes, you know, is it that you have a family in another way? Is it that you have other people there that you may have not had? Is it that, you know, little things. So again, easier said than done, but hopefully, you know, here today is a reminder for those of you that need it, that, you know, those tough days are coming. If you haven't had it yet, you might be today. But let life give you that hit and just say, hell with that, I'm gonna keep going. It's the best revenge you can do to a bad day. Oh, thanks guys. James says, like being late for something and passing an accident on the way there. Exactly. You never know. And sometimes you'll never know what silver lining there was. Sometimes years later you'll see it. Sometimes you might never know until you go meet the man upstairs and he tells you. But just remember, there is something that you may have not realized in that day that was bad, that just makes it a not so good day. Not a bad day, just not so good. Oh, you guys are amazing. Elise in Alabama. Oh, well, Elise, you're always so sweet. Elise always comments with such sweet messages. Elise, oh, I adore you. Thank you so much. Well, on that note, guys, I do have to go soon to go see my mom. And as crazy as my mom is, she was like, go live in the hospital. I'm like, so I wanted to go live. But my mom wanted to leave you guys a message. So I'll put maybe, like I said, a public Patreon post so you don't have to subscribe if you don't want. She tried to make you guys laugh with a funny message. But yeah, I was like, Mom, is this how you want? I was like, let's just get you to Disney World. No more breaking things. We need to get you to Disney World. Let's see. Sorry, we're trying to catch up. I will. That's true. Roy makes a good point. Out of something terrible, I never was going to do live streams. I just thought, like, I don't know. I have no idea what to say, like, live. I don't even know how it works. But we were stuck in a house for 6 months, couldn't leave, and I was inspired by watching Sesame Street go on CNN to explain to kids what was COVID. And I was like, oh my God, how neat would it be to hear from Mickey and Cinderella and like all your friends? Like if Sesame Street can do it, I was like, I produced TV back in the day. And Chris was like, okay, he had a lot of free time. He didn't have a job either. And I was like, well, just do this for fun as a way to connect. And because I know the characters personally, I can call Mickey anytime. And the rest is history. So out of something terrible came something good. And I know out of something terrible, some not so good things happened. We lost Chris's dad to COVID. Ashley, my best friend from childhood that you meet sometimes on our live streams, she lost her mom. So trust me, I know not everything was so good.
Hello.
Oh, hi. That's my mom's friend. Oh, I'm live on our YouTube channel. Do you want to say hi, Caroline?
Yeah.
Caroline's like, what's going on? Here, come on in.
Hi.
Hi. Hello. Okay, that's my cue. I better go. The ladies are coming, and that means it's time to also see my mom. Okay, guys. By the way, thank you, Caroline. Caroline's been helping with my mom a ton as well. When I couldn't get here, when everything happened. So, guys, on that note, that's my cue. Definitely, I gotta go. All right, guys. I never say goodbye. I only say, see you real soon. See you real soon. And I gotta go see Mama LBV real soon. Bye, guys.